course in 63-64 you clinched the Division 4 championship.
Yeah.
Do you recall the moment when you won the league? Is there any anecdotes that perhaps you can tell us about?
I think, if I remember rightly, we played at Newport, and I think it was 1-0. I don't know if you can correct me on that.
Let's look that up, I think, won't we?
I think it was 1-0, and I can't remember who scored. I didn't play. I was in the stand. I think that evening there were a few things going on in the hotel, and George Francis was quite a character, and I think he did take rather a lot of clothes off and run through the dance hall one night, that particular night. But, so there was a lot going on.
Now Basil Hayward and Andy Nelson were primarily the managers that you played under. For younger supporters, one of which being myself, can you perhaps describe their character, and did you get on with both pretty well?
I got on with both, yeah. They were both good managers. Unfortunately, Basil had quite a bad time. It wasn't a particularly good time for him, but I still rated him as a manager. He helped me a lot, and he helped me progress really. But for me, personally, Andy Nelson was the best manager. Purely for the fact that I think he got the best out of players. He didn't ask players to do things that they couldn't do. And my orders really were basically when I went out on the pitch, just nick us a goal. And we had Alan Wilkes on the right, who was a good player. Damien Richardson, who was a good centre forward, could hold the ball up. I could get in behind Damien. He had good midfield, good defence. Unfortunately, we didn't win the league, but we should have won it, I think, that year.
Now, prior to a few months ago, of course, the 63-64 team was the last Gillingham team to win the league title. So when the Gills won it last season, how did it feel personally? Were you proud of the achievement?
Yeah, definitely. I think in '63 I didn't actually get a medal because I only played 11 games, and at the time I thought you've got plenty of time, to win championships and things like that. And but unfortunately, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't come along very often. And so in '73, when I felt we should have won. I felt we should have won the league that year. We were the best side, I think, by far. And not winning the league and missing out on a medal, I think all the players in the squad were disappointed, very disappointed. But for them to win it, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Do you come to the Gills games very often, or is your interest in the game perhaps dwindled slightly?
I think it dwindled when I packed up, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a great watcher of football.
Right.
I don't watch football a lot. I watch some on television, but I don't go to very many football matches, and I've only been back here probably half a dozen times to watch matches, but I do follow the results, and look for, that's the first result I look for.
Is there anyone in the current squad, I'm not sure if you know too much about them,
no.
Is there anyone perhaps you'd enjoy playing with, or perhaps in previous Gill sides you'd like to play
I saw a game last year with the grandchildren, and it was Fleetwood. It was 2-2,
yeah.
And I think Gills were probably a little bit fortunate that day, and I think they were a little bit fortunate to get a draw, but it's difficult when you just watch the odd game. You can't get to know the players and know what they can do and can't do. But I was quite impressed with the big guy up front, Danny Kedwell, and I thought he played well, and probably if I wanted to play with anyone, he would probably suit me. Big centre forward. I could get a feed off of him, and perhaps we've got a few more goals.
What about working under Martin Allen? Is that something you would have
I'm not too sure
in your time?
I think he might be a bit too strong for me.
But his impact's been fantastic, hasn't it? To win the league title in his first season, what a fantastic achievement.
Well, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know, I think probably the hardest part is for him now to carry it on this season, and he obviously knows it's going to be a difficult job. It's not easy to win a championship, go up a league, and you know, carry on the momentum, you know, in that division. But I'm sure he knows all that, and I'm sure he'll do well. I think the team will do well.
Now, you went on to be manager yourself, of course, with Folkestone and Canterbury City, namely. In football, did you achieve everything you wanted, or did you look back and sometimes think there's a couple of other things I wish I'd have done?
Probably wished I'd have trained harder. I wasn't probably the best of trainers. I think, you know, I'd have possibly worked a bit harder at my game, but I think we're going back a long time, and I think football was probably a little bit different in those days. But I think everyone, if they work at their game, you know, they can obviously get better, and perhaps I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything at all. I'm perfectly happy with what I've done, and I think myself lucky, really, to be quite honest, that I had 12 years at Gillingham.
Cool. Well, Brian, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
And enjoy your day.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Cheers,
Thank
Brian.
you very much.
Thank you very much.